Hi guys, it's just a quick video on how you can make the most out of Gemini 3, the latest model from Google. Now, people are here saying it's insane and whatnot, and there's some people that are still getting the same outputs that they did before, maybe last week or a few months ago, and it all comes down to how you prompt it. Now on the screen you see 3 different designs I've made, all one-shotted using one prompt with Gemini 3. I'm inside Magic Path, which is an AI design tool, like Figma and ChatGPT had a baby. So let's just get straight into it. So this first one is an architecture editorial site, and you can see how clean and nice and professional it is, and even has nice interactions and animations as well. And this menu is quite nice, and you can see it all has a very cohesive style. This second one here is a SaaS landing page. You can see how this flips up. We've got a nice font, nice color scheme. And you can see the sections here are unique as well, and they don't look like they've been generated with AI. Now this one is you can kind of tell it's been generated with AI, but it's still an improvement on what you would normally get when you use a standard prompt. And it all just comes down to how you prompt it. So let me just show you. So in Gemini, I've actually built myself my own custom gem, or if you're in ChatGPT, it'll be a custom GPT or custom bot with whatever platform you're using. And you can see here it has instructions, very detailed instructions on how to actually generate great UI. And I've also got different documents that I've fed it so you can pull information from these documents. So this one, we've got a prompt framework, which is kind of just like reflected in here. We've got buzzwords, so nice buzzwords you can use in your prompt to achieve a certain style of UI. For example, minimalist or neo-brutalist or classmorphic, those kind of words. Prompt engineering, so how to effectively prompt engineer, and a font list. Now the ones you really need, well, you need to have an understanding and an idea of buzzwords, how to frame your prompt, and it's also nice to have a good collection of fonts that you like to use. So I'll leave these resources in the description or wherever you're finding this. So let me go into Google Docs, and I've actually copied and pasted the instructions here. So you can see here I've got detailed instructions on how Gemini or AI or whichever LLM you're using should prompt to get beautiful UI out. So you can see before we actually get into the prompt, you need to provide context of what we're actually building. And I've just given it some more detailed instructions so I don't have to create a separate gem for landing pages, websites, dashboards, etc. But the main things you need to understand is that you need to provide it with useful fonts or fonts that you like, because if you don't do that, it will just use system UI, and that's how all AI designs end up looking the same. And another tip I've given is to let it choose some unique layouts. If you don't tell it which layouts to use, every section is just going to be 3 cards, 3 cards, 3 cards. Maybe you have a hero section with a dashboard, and every AI site ends up looking the same again. So I've given some example layouts you can use for the most common sections in a website or landing page. And then general tips here. I've put avoid using bold font weight. This is only because most AI sites use bold font weight, but you can use bold font weight as long as the font you use is nice. And I put the text sizes for each of the text styles, and I've given strict parameters for corner radii. AI generated sites normally have a corner radius, I think it's about maybe 16 to 20. I don't know, just changing that alone will give it a unique feel. And then I've given it some other tips as well on how to structure it. And the main thing really is just understanding which colors you want to use, which fonts you want to use, and then the style of website. For example, this is an editorial site, so let me get the prompt I use for this. By the way, follow me on Twitter, YouTube, wherever you're seeing this for more insights on how to create beautiful UI using AI. So you can see here the prompt I use, very simple prompt. You wouldn't expect this normally. A very simple prompt: create an editorial style website for an architecture firm, use Inter for all fonts, use monotone colors, no radii, 0 radii. So we're specifying here that we want to use Inter for all the fonts, so it's nice and cohesive and doesn't look generic, even though I still believe Inter is a very generic font, but it kind of works in this use case. Use monotone colors, so we're not using any purple gradients, any indigo 500, none of that. Simple, clean, effective. No radii, zero radii, sharp, it matches the architectural and editorial style. Minimal and professional, these are the buzzwords I'm talking about. As soon as you give the AI buzzwords like minimal, professional, you're going to see that all your designs are going to look more cohesive and less like AI generated designs. Now this one, I use the custom Gemini gem, so the actual prompt is a lot more complicated, which I'll show you. Okay, quickly before I show you, let me just scroll through this entire site. So we got all these nice, beautiful cards that is generated by itself as well, which is really impressive. A nice ticker or carousel, a nice styling, nice pricing section with a toggle, FAQ, CTA, and I did this by making a custom theme in Magic Path, and I saved my custom theme and I selected it. And to make a custom theme, you can just go to themes here and you can click on import and copy the code, and you can use something like TweakCN or just ChatGPT or Claude to help you make CSS theme using this root styling or root formatting. So let me get into the prompt. So here's the prompt, and there's a prompt here with styling, but unfortunately it defaulted to using indigo, so I said remove the styling and I'll add the styling myself using Magic Path's native themes. So you can see in this prompt we have the high level overview, we have the visual style and buzzwords, so we have refined, layered depth, clean grid. Typography, I didn't actually use Space Grotesque, but that's a nice font. I used the actual font that was in my theme inside of Magic Path. Body Inter, and then we see the structure and navigation. We have a nice nav bar, and then each page section has a different and unique layout. So as I showed you before, I've given it strict layouts to use for each section, so it doesn't default to using the 3 cards everywhere, which looks really boring. And I've given it like an old way versus new way section, which is good for SaaS landing pages. Got a features section with tabs, which is kind of unique-ish section. You won't find in many AI sites, but it's a very common section you'll find in like web development, web design. And here we've got a load of different sections, and then final implementation notes at the bottom, just to clarify everything we've talked about. While we're talking about this kind of thing, if you want to find unique fonts, just go to a website called typeuva.com and then just prompt what font or what type of font you're looking for. Maybe you want elegant fonts and the use case, so maybe you want elegant fonts for a luxury fashion brand website. And let me just type that in. I need elegant fonts for a luxury fashion brand, and click on generate suggestions, and you're going to see in a minute it's going to generate some suggestions. So we have nice luxury fonts here, all that are free. So these ones in white are from Google Fonts, and then the ones in orange are from FontShare, but they're all free and all fairly straightforward to use in your vibe coded projects. So these are the 5 things you need to take care of when prompting with Gemini 3 and really any AI model. So colors, fonts, buzzwords, radius, section layout. Once you've nailed these down and made it look cohesive, unique, not AI generated, you're going to see the level of UI that you generate is going to massively improve immediately. Trust me on this. So that's basically it. So I've shown you my prompt framework. I'll leave that in the description or wherever you're watching this, and I'll also leave a link or a remix link to this Magic Path file as well, so you can play around with these designs, and I'll leave some useful resources as well, maybe a link to typeuva.com. So thank you guys for watching.